Hello everybody, it's the Doctor of Who here, your typical tired boy, but something exciting has happened that's made me a little bit more tired, more excited. I legitimately meant to say excited. Doctor Who is back. Doctor Who is legitimately back in the best way possible. Now, spoilers all over the place. You're not watching this unless you just want to hear someone talk openly about the episode, which is what I'm going to do. All cards are on the table. I'm just going to be talking and cutting when I say dumb stuff. So obviously the biggest thing is that we have a brand new Doctor, and it's a female Doctor, our first official canon female Doctor, and it's very exciting. I had my fears, and when I say that, I don't mean about her, I don't mean about a female Doctor. I just mean I was a little bit trepidatious about what I'd heard the series was going to be. That it was going to be a clean slate, it was going to be the beginning, I mean obviously referencing the fact that she has just regenerated, and it's not the beginning of canon, but it is the beginning of the show for a new viewer. Which Stephen Moffat said Series 5 was, and it was in a way, but it still, had your Daleks and Cybermen, and there was still a lot of familiar elements. So hearing that this episode and this season wasn't going to be like that, it got me a little worried. I wasn't sure how it would go down, and it went down pretty damn well. I think the main thing that helps it is that everything is new. The Doctor, the showrunner, the writers, the directors, the composers, the sound designers, everything was fresh, and it felt that. It felt new. Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor is incredible. The moment she steps on screen, falls on screen is it's all good. You're in safe hands, even if those hands aren't too sure if they're her hands, if they're done regenerating. It's all very confusing, but she is brilliant. Of course, there is a lot of Matt Smith and a lot of David Tennant, a lot of the younger Doctors in her Doctor. It's a lot less about the wizened Doctor, but more about the youthful eccentric Doctor that a lot of Doctors go down that route. And fine, we just had the old, hardened, wizened Doctor. It's fine to go back to the thing that draws the crowds, which is the energetic one. But at the same time, I think she may be one of the smartest Doctors. Before she's even done, she's already building things. She builds a sonic screwdriver, no one else has done that. Usually it's just dispensed out of a TARDIS console. I mean, the Doctor has no involvement with it. The TARDIS is just like, here you go, here's another one. This time she's like, I better do something about this. Which is very much the essence of her Doctor, at least in this episode. She's consistently pushing forward, pushing everyone to, reach their goals, do what is necessary to get to the next objective. And the greatest example of that is Ryan. We found out at the beginning of the episode, I can't remember what he has, but it's a very unique thing. It's something that you barely hear a character, one of their main traits, one of the things that drives them is this balance disorder. And, that's one of the main themes of the episode, one of the main things that, he hurdles over at the end of the episode. All the characters feel super grounded and real, but I get to them in a sec. What I'm talking about is that, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor pushes Ryan to, combat his fears and, overcome them with making him be the person that's going up the crane. He's up high, there's no balance, but he overcomes that, and it just shows that her Doctor's obviously going to be someone that does want to help people, that wants to push people to be the best version of themselves that they can be, which, she does speak to the bad guy with the teeth about that exact thing, that, no matter where you are right now, you can be someone different. You can move past that, embrace what you were, but also move on, which is very similar to Matt Smith's regeneration speech as well, but it also, of course, mirrors her, being everything that has been, but being brand new and fresh, as does the show. It's very good. It's a very good moment. But yes, we get a whole new cast of characters. Of course, my biggest other fear was Bradley Walsh being Graham. Not that I didn't think he could do it, it's just, it felt like it was all going to be very serious and very grounded, and I know he is a great comedic actor and has acted in other things. I was unsure how he would fit the environment, and he is kind of perfect. I kind of forgot, and I've finished recording, but the moment that Graham gives the eulogy at the funeral is one of the most powerful moments in Doctor Who, and is a moment that I was like, okay, Bradley Walsh, stick around as long as you want. It was also shot beautifully, having the Doctor just stand at the back silently and seeing all of our friends that we'd come to know throughout the episode just chilling. It was very, very good, and it just felt right. It was sad, although kind of predictable that Nan would be passing away in the episode, but nonetheless, they led up to it beautifully. and it felt right. It also felt an interesting way to begin this new era of Doctor Who, to begin with a death. I'm whispering because my dad's out there and he hasn't watched it yet. And when I say right, what I actually mean is an interesting and sudden and very different way to start, and a clean slate. It's fresh. It's so fresh. Back to Will. I watched the episode today at the Whovians AU screening, and everyone laughed at every single line he had. He was just so organic, he fit with all the other characters. As Jodie Whittaker's Doctor says, a fam dynamic, and I'm just excited for the rest of this show. Yasmin is also great. She doesn't get much to do in this. We see her police officer work, being kind of a traffic warden and stuff. Fine. Nothing really came of her story just yet. I think we will get her later. This is really absolutely Ryan's episode, and a little bit of Graham's, but mostly it was about introducing Ryan. I think / hope each episode might have some sort of pivotal thing that links back to one of our main characters. I love the way this series is panning out already, just from the one episode. I will say though, a lot of people are claiming it to be the best thing ever about Doctor Who. It's got its problems. It does feel very small in scale, and also just kind of doesn't make all that much sense, but it is a great jumping on point because it has a sci-fi concept. You have a bounty hunter going hunting, and you know, it's kind of a unique way of doing it before. You know, it doesn't feel like Legends of Tomorrow or Star Wars or something. It's a very Doctor Who take on it. It's very simple, and you know, I think people will be able to jump onto it. I just don't think it is the greatest thing to happen ever. I think episode 2 onwards, maybe that though. It's so visually cinematic. It's just such a different look for Doctor Who. It gives that same vibe of when you first watch the 11th Hour and you're like, okay, so we're HD now. We are able to use light. There's a lot better visual effects coming from the mill. This is the same kind of feeling. It is a brand new show, at least visually. The storytelling may be pretty similar. It's like if you strip it down to its core, it's still very Doctor Who, but the wrapping of the show is very different. It sounds different. Murray Gold is obviously left as composer. I can't remember who the new guy is, but he does a magnificent job. It has that tone of a Netflix series. The moment that I was well into this episode, it is the moment that Jodie Whittaker falls through the train. She gets up and it's like boom, 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 or something like that. It's like thick bass notes of the Doctor Who theme, and myself and Sam, Superman fan Sam, sitting next to me, we were riled. There isn't much more music in this episode. It's very, very quiet and very tense, so the music doesn't get to do too much, but knowing that this guy already made Sam and I riled, it gives me good feelings for the future. I don't think we're going to get the big themes like All the Strange Creatures or I Am the Doctor. I think they're going to be much more pared back themes, more ambient, more kind of moment to moment, less so here is the Doctor's theme. No matter what, I'm going to be listening. That's all I'm going to listen to on my Spotify. I also love the visual and graphic and all the special effects of the episode. They felt very grounded. The pod thing is probably the most Doctor Who thing. The escape pod, transmat pod. It's very lame. It kind of felt a little bit sort of Sarah Jane Adventures at times, but the way it cracks open and reveals the bounty hunter, fine. It's fine. It's the most Doctor Who looking thing in the entire episode, so I can get over it. Something I couldn't get over is Mr. Salad Man, the drunk guy that throws the salad at the bounty hunter. That was great. That was probably my highlight of the whole episode. Eat my salad, mate. Oh, I'm gonna do that if I'm ever drunk. I'm just gonna throw salad at a policeman. Don't do that. I loved the way they got to her costume. I was like, clearly it's not going to be in the TARDIS because we're lacking the TARDIS, something I'll also want to just briefly mention. But I loved that they went for an op shop. It's where every cosplayer gets their Doctor Who costumes. So to go to an op shop to find her costume, pretty good. And also these are 19-year-old kids helping her to get her costume. It's like, they're not going to take her to friggin' H&M. They're going to take her to an op shop, get the cheapest thing possible. This mad woman, she'll wear anything. But yes, the lack of the TARDIS and the lack of just all the staples of Doctor Who. One of the only staple Doctor Who things, apart from the sonic screwdriver, is that burst of regeneration energy that we've had in every regen episode of the modern series. Even if it doesn't make too much sense, it made sense in the Tenet episode because it went blah and went up into the Sycorax, and they were like, "Ooh, we like this." The Matt Smith one had just kind of left. I don't know if Capaldi had it. Maybe he did. I can't remember. But we did have that puff of energy. I feel like everything is done for a reason, though. So I feel like that might come back to bite the Doctor. Someone might be looking for that energy more so than we think. but also it could just disappear. It felt very strange to not, have the title sequence blare and be like, hey, this is new, or have the TARDIS pop up and be like, hey, this is the new. It felt very, as I keep saying, it felt very fresh, and I'm very on board with it. I like the idea of not having it be the device to link us to the next episode for the first time. Again, it's a great use of Jodie Whittaker being very smart and being able to build something from nothing. We know the Doctor can do this. We know from like The Lodger and from countless other episodes that he can build anything. He, that's going to get a bit difficult, can build anything from nothing. So to have built a time machine from a microwave and stuff, good Doctor Who. And it gives me that kind of first season of Tom Baker vibe where they didn't have the TARDIS. They were sent places by the Time Lords using like a time ring or something. So I feel like we're getting that kind of a thing. My theory is for the first 3 episodes, there won't be the TARDIS. Obviously this one set in the present. The next one kind of looks, alien or future. And then the third one will be in the past. And then that'll be like, hey, did you like all that stuff? Come in a box and we can do this every day. I think that could be quite fun. And I think they want to show off where you could go with it without having that staple device to get you everywhere. I think Chibnall doesn't want to be held down by the plot devices, by all this stuff. He wants to do his own thing for a little while. Which I'm fine with, but give me the new title sequence at the start of the next episode, please. Please. It hurt a little watching a bunch of random people's names pop up and then nothing. And the villain. I don't know where to slide this in to talk about him, but he was quite creepy. When he took off the mask and then with the teeth, I was like, ooh, that's a bit gross. Especially with the context that they are people's teeth. It's not like his skin looks like teeth. They are actual teeth that he's peeled off people and just stuck into his face. That's a little screwed up, and I'm intrigued by how parents react. I'm very excited to read all the articles of parents saying, my kids can't sleep anymore. They're afraid the tooth fairy might rip out their face, or their teeth, or their jaw, apparently. So yes, I was a big fan. There are a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of convenient things that happen, but it's Doctor Who. It's just supposed to be fun. It's a family-friendly show, and it feels like the first time, despite the darkness, the first time it's felt fun and light and for everyone. I'm so excited to be able to show this to people. A lot of friends that have just kind of, they died off in Series 9, but not because they didn't want to keep going. They just kind of, they didn't have the excitement or the energy to get through. I'm very excited to be able to show this episode to people that may not have kept up with Doctor Who. It really is a jumping on point. I'm so happy that they didn't oversell that. It wasn't like the movie over a week thing from Series 7A. It was like, mate, they're not really. They're still just Doctor Who episodes. I'm glad that they sold it as a jumping on point and it landed as a jumping on point. I'm very excited for the rest of Doctor Who. Hopefully I'll have a sleep before then. But if you enjoyed this
darkness, my old friend.
But if you enjoyed this video, remember you can hit subscribe over there, you can hit the like button down below, and there are 2 videos up here that you can get in your face. It's all very exciting. Hello, darkness.